So today I wanted to talk a little bit about collecting philosophy. And I wanted to ask you guys, what's your philosophy, if you have one? How do you decide what to buy? How much does value or investment play into those decisions? Do you insure your collection? Because if you collect long enough, these are things that you're going to just naturally start thinking about. And during this discussion, I'm going to just be showing some footage that I shot recently and have shown on my channel before, but I thought I would give you guys something to look at instead of just my talking head or a blank screen. So I hope you enjoy the video footage. So I'm primarily a focus collector, and focusing on Luke Skywalker figures, Luke Bespin, Luke Farm Boy, and Luke Jedi. And that's what I spend most of my money on. Those are the holy grails from when I was a kid, and so that's what I'm still after. Ultimately, I think what I'm after and what motivates my purchases are the memories that I have attached to the particular items. For example, I remember having a card back that I had kept in order to, check off the figures that I had purchased and see which ones I still had to look for. And I remember this card back having a Luke Bespin with ginger hair on it, and that's one of the figures I still collect today, or I look for today, because I really, as a kid, I had a Luke Bespin with yellow hair and wondered why I couldn't find one with ginger hair, and really, so I really wanted that figure. So that's one thing I remember from childhood and what kind of motivates some of my collecting today. But along the way, I do a lot of eBay surfing, and I do pick up other things, playsets and toys that I had or that I didn't have and wanted. And I even occasionally branch off and acquire something from other toy lines. Like I have some Mego Star Trek figures and an assortment of vintage Kenner Indiana Jones figures. Basically things, what I collect is what I love, and what I remember is my basic philosophy. And so I don't set too many rules, like you can only get this kind of toy or that kind of toy. It's basically what I love and what I remember as a kid. Now, I do follow certain guidelines, or at least I think I do, when it comes to how I'm willing to spend my money. And that brings us to another topic that is can be kind of a dirty word in the Star Wars collecting community, which is investment. Should you think of your collecting as investment, and or should you just collect because you love it? And I often hear people who are kind of purist about it and say you should just really collect because you love it, and you shouldn't worry or think about the financial aspect of it. But to me, I think it's okay. I think it's just naturally part of collecting is the financial aspect of it. So I think it's okay to think of collecting as an investment to a certain degree. And for me, it's just it's my form of penny capitalism, just saving up your money or setting aside a certain amount, putting it into a toy object, and then watching that money grow over time, because it will increase in value. Just in the modern era of my collecting, which is from about 2010 to present, the prices on some of the things I've acquired have more than doubled. So I think it's pretty natural to think about collecting as an investment. And you could certainly be investing in something worse. You could be investing in some industry that pollutes the environment or is really hard on their workers. In the grand scheme of things, investing in Star Wars is pretty harmless, I think. Particularly investing in vintage toys, because it's not like you're going out on the retail market to Target and buying up and hoarding all the toys and thereby depriving kids of their childhood, because kids today don't really want these vintage figures. It's just the only thing that you're affecting is the secondary market of collectors. What I would say is this about investing in collectibles is do invest in what you love, because what you love and your passion for it is what gives you sort of the market knowledge and savvy to make good choices as far as what you're putting your money into. Because there was a time when I was going to a toy show and kind of selling off some of my collection. I didn't have a very good job at the time and needed some money. And I started to branch off into other toy lines that I would see at the toy show, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And but I just didn't have the passion and love of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for example, to where I was making good investments as far as what I would buy to sell, because I didn't know what was desirable, and I just didn't have the passion for that toy line. So I think if there's one rule, it's definitely collect what you love, even if you're thinking of it as an investment. Make sure it's something you're safer off collecting what you love, because you'll make good choices that way. The other guideline I try to follow, and I think is true, is that it's better to put your money into one quality item than lots of smaller loose items or modern toys. You're just better off because of the logistics involved in resale of toys. Say there's some item out there on eBay that you just have to have, and you want the money that you're going to purchase it with to come from your existing collection of toys instead of like your paycheck. Well, if you've got your money tied up in a bunch of lesser valued things, it'll take you a long time, months, to resell it piece by piece, whereas you could just sell one maybe Kenner Indiana Jones carded item to buy your new desired piece. Another topic that's kind of controversial is cashing out. I've heard collectors talk about that before, that they just decided it was time for them to sell their collection and do something else with the money, or save up for someone's college fund. Personally, there's some things in my collection I just can't see myself ever wanting to part with, but who knows? The vicissitudes of life can throw you a lot of unexpected curveballs. So there may come a time when I would choose to cash out most, if not all, of my collection. And I think that also underscores the importance of putting your money in just a few higher quality items, as opposed to hundreds or thousands of lesser quality pieces. But right now, I love the hobby so much that I can't imagine ever doing that, cashing out. For me, it's still full steam ahead as far as going going on eBay and searching for various holy grails, and talking with the Star Wars community. Like, I've enjoyed some of the friendships I've found on YouTube or Facebook talking about Star Wars. I think it's a great hobby. So what do you guys think about the topic of collecting philosophy? What's your philosophy? What should you put your money into? And should you think of collecting as an investment? Please leave a comment, and thanks for watching.